Oh, broke my neck. Greetings and salutations, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, theonesaraho. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a little talk through video on how I do my go-to makeup look. But yeah, it's just a short intro, so let's just get straight into the video. So I typically go in with the MAC Prep and Prime Matte Finish Spray. Still got the box coming. I like to keep my things organized. So after I'm done with that, I am a brows girl first. So I typically go in with the Ardell Pomade, whichever way you say it. I go in with this and just fill in my brows. I'm going to go in with the LA Girl Pro Concealer and use that to clean up around the brow. But this is in the shade, I believe it's Creamy Beige. Yeah, in the shade Creamy Beige. If I forget to mention anything, I will be sure to link it in the description box. So no worries if I don't specify like a shade or the name. So this is what we're working with. Extra thick hay. I'm going in with a beauty blender. Some people usually just leave it afterwards and just like put their foundation on, but I think that I usually get more seamless of a look once I blend out the concealer. So I'm just going in and blending out the concealer around my brows. After I'm done with doing my brows, I typically go in with my foundation. So I use the Revlon Colorstay Combination Oily in 375, which is their toffee caramel color. And I like to go in, so I have oily skin, and I realized that kind of using my hands to apply my foundation gets my skin oilier than usual than when I usually use a brush. So I go in with this Sephora foundation brush, or I guess complexion brush. It says complexion, but we're gonna call it foundation because why not? I like to put sometimes like anywhere from 3 to 4 pumps on my face. Tonight I might do like 4 pumps, maybe 3. We'll see. This is 2 pumps right now, and just going in and spreading that all over my face, and spreading that evenly, or as evenly as possible. Make sure to bring it down to your neck so you don't got 2 different shades on your face and your neck area. Then go in with an extra pump, like just 1 little extra pump, and I usually use that for my forehead and the bridge of my nose, and just spread that out evenly. Small pump, and use that on my jawline area. So once I'm done going in with the brush, I like to go in with my damp beauty blender and blend it out. Because I use a brush, there can sometimes be streaks. So going in with the beauty blender just make sure that everything is seamless and nice, and you can't tell that, you know, I've been swiping foundation on the entire time. But after my foundation is on, I go in with my LA Girl Pro Concealer and use that to highlight and conceal my under eye area. I go in, I try to make sure that it's not too thick, but I go in and make sure not to bring it up all the way into right under my under eye, just because when I blend it out, I don't want it to be too gunky over under there, and it's just easier for me to blend it out seamlessly. Then on the bridge of my nose, I'm going in and concealing it as well. I'm applying concealer to highlight. My forehead is a little on the big side, so I do bring my concealer up a little bit. If you have a smaller forehead, I wouldn't even recommend going this far up, probably like just right here, if anything. But you know, I just bring it up a little because, you know, I got my big forehead. And then I highlight under on my chin, and then I highlight right here on my upper lip area. So this is typically what I do when I want to highlight. I let it sit usually for like Not super long, but just long enough to let dry. So I'll be back with a drier like concealer. Like, I don't know if y'all can see this, but this is how it looks now, and maybe I'll give you guys like this how it looks now without it being dried down, and I'll show you guys how it looks afterwards when it actually is dried down. 5 minutes now. This is, I mean, I don't really know if you can tell the difference, but it's drier, so there's that. So going in with my, of course, damp beauty blender. I typically go and blend out both at the same time just to make sure that there's an even covering and one eye or one under eye doesn't end up brighter than the other. So now that we are blended and together, we are going to go in and use the Covergirl Clean Professional Setting Powder. And I have this in the shade, loose. It's a loose powder, and I have this in the shade 110, and it's in, I guess it's translucent light. So I'm going in and putting this all over my face. Like I said earlier, I'm very oily, so just going in and using this as a setting powder for my entire face just helps me control some of my shine that I get throughout the day. So now that my face is fully ashy and dry, I'm going to go in again with the same translucent powder that I use all over my face and use it on my under eye. So honestly, if I don't bake, my makeup does not stay, and I get oily within the hour. Not the hour, let me not lie. Within a few hours, I get oily. So I usually put on a semi-thick layer of setting powder underneath my eye to kind of dry, or not dry, just kind of suck up some of the oiliness that I get regularly. So just going in and applying it like so. So I go in with my MAC Studio Fix Perfecting Powder in medium deep, and I will link all of this or have all this in the description box. And I typically go in and use a little bit on the top of my lids before I go and do any of my lash routine. I go in with my Maybelline New York Colossal Big Shot Volume Express Mascara. And I go in and apply it to my top lid, shaking it back and forth or wiggling it back and forth, whatever, and putting that on my top lid. So now that my lashes are nice and filled in, I typically go in and make them like, I fill them in thick just so that they blend well with my lashes that I'm about to use. I have them in the Sephora box, but they actually were ordered off of Amazon. I will link that in the description box. So going in with my Duo eyelash adhesive in dark tone and with a thin layer, I'm just gonna go ahead and wait for that to dry and then plop it on my lid. So now that the lash glue is a little bit tacky, I don't know if you guys can see that. See it? Yeah, now it's a little tacky, a little darker. I'm going to go on and put it on my upper lash area where it's supposed to go. So this is what the lash looks like after I have it on. I don't know if you guys can see it. This is the difference between my lashed eye and my unlashed eye. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put the other one on off camera, and I will be back in a moment.
Last week I had to make $100 stretch. Every motherfucking night I was eating cheese eggs. Bitches sell stories cause these whores don't know me. See me by myself and got you tripping with your homie. I bet if you touch me you gon' miss it like you Dory. Bitch, that's why your nigga wanna kick it with a horsey.
So now that this is off, or now that my lashes are on, usually once my, if y'all can see my pores, the oil is a little, this is how I can tell that like it's done baking. Got my little circles on my nose. On my nose, under my eye, all that. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe off my setting powder. Okay, so going in with my MAC Studio Fix Perfecting Powder. Again, I'm going to use that and put that all over my face. I hate flashback like we all do, and I kind of hate that ashy look that some people get after putting on setting powder. So I really just go over and put it on my entire face just to make sure that I'm not looking like a White Walker in these streets. So now that all of my loose powder, perfecting, whatever, now that that's on, I'm going to go in with my mascara again and use that and go ahead and coat my my lower lashes. I'm going to go in with my True Complexion contour palette, light to medium. So going in with my contour brush that I got in the Sephora, or highlight and contour brush that comes in the Sephora palette, or Sephora brush collection. I'm going to go in and use this shade, you know, it's been ran through as y'all can see, and contour. So now that my face and my nose is contoured, going in with this angled blush brush, and I'm using that in the middle for my blush. I didn't really start using blush until recently, but I like the way that my makeup looks with it on. So now that my cheeks are rosy and my face is semi-baked, I typically go in and clean it up my contour again with the same loose setting powder that I used for my under eye and baking and a lot of other things, and go in with that and clean up my contour. After going in and cleaning up my contour, I typically just go in with the same Kabuki brush that I used to clean up my under eye setting powder and brush this off. I don't typically wait that long because you don't want your cleanup to be looking super ashy in comparison to the rest of your face. So I just go in, clean up, and brush that hell off. So now that it's cleaned off, I go in again because we don't want to be looking like White Walkers in these streets, and go in with the same MAC finishing perfecting powder and clean over it and just kind of warm up that area since the setting powder is a tad ashy. So after this is said and done, I go ahead with that same, my trusty dusty prep and prime matte finish spray in matte, because for our oily girls, we love a matte product, and spray that all over my face. And I kind of fan it, and I also go in with the same damp beauty blender, and sometimes with that product, there can be like splatter marks or whatever. I don't really know why it happens, but I just go in and press it in to make sure that I don't have like little white marks all over it. Make sure you shake it well, because sometimes the product can settle at the bottom. So just shake well. I use a blender to really press it into the skin, and your makeup will not be ruined or look crackheadish. So now that my face is nice and flawless, I like to go in with these two brushes. This is the Sephora Pro Highlighter brush. I guess they're 98. And I go in with this smudge brush, and I use it for, actually use that for my inner corner. So I'm gonna go in with a Jackie Aina Artist Couture in La Peach and use that as my highlighter for today. And now that I have that on, I'm going to go in and highlight so you can see me from Mars and just bloop that on the bridge of my nose. People are like, I don't want to highlight the bridge of my nose because it doesn't look natural. If you want to be natural, you didn't have to wear makeup. So, and then going in and highlighting my cheekbone. So now that my highlighter is on, this is the end of my makeup routine. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw on a wig so you guys can see the entire finished look, and I will be back momentarily. So this is my final look with my wig on. My first review on this channel was on this wig, and I still wear it, still put it to good use. So if you guys are interested, I will link the wig in the description box, and I'll also have the link to the wig review in the description box. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you feel like subscribing, don't forget to do so, and I will see you guys on my— oh, you look so cute. Hello everyone. Hello.
at Louise17. Tell a friend.
I'll put her ad right there. But yes, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed and see you guys on my next video.